Backstage, da 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 da. Backstage, da 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 da. Backstage, da 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 da. Backstage, da 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 da. Backstage, da 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 da. Backstage, da 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 da. Hi, darlings. It's Backstage International 69. I love 69. It is MAITE, Kelly, FANTA, Fantastische Vier, Rudy himself, and maybe a little bit of Fight Code. That's what we're doing today. As you know, every fucking Sunday it's Rudy Backstage time. This is the international version of my Rudy Backstage idea. You can view this on Rudi Dolezal Official on Facebook every Sunday. You can view it on Insta, on my Rudi Dolezal page as an IGTV. You can view it on Twitter and on TikTok. And the actual Backstage experience is on Doro TV, which is my YouTube channel, Rudi Dolezal's Doro TV to be exact, where there's a premiere. It's every Sunday at 11 a.m. in Los Angeles time, West Coast, 2 p.m. On the East Coast, Miami, New York. And it's 7 p.m. London, UK, 8 p.m. most of Europe, 9 p.m. Moscow, Israel, etc., etc. How are you, darlings? Okay. And when you do this on the YouTube channel, on Doro TV, I am always giving you a live chat, and there is a very fine and nice and loyal community in the meantime, where I'm very, very happy about that. So many people every Sunday are basically coming together, and I am sort of the reason for it. How are you? You're fine? We hope it's getting better, and I want to talk about the topics that I said. Well, first of all, as you can see on my postings on Insta, Facebook, and that's the two mostly that I do, or my team helps me. I am super busy in the time at this time. You can also always see when I'm doing this backstage, these kind of thing, and there is no opening and no closing and no commercial for my book, Freddie Mercury, for my friend Freddie, that I'm so busy. It's usually because my editor, Marcel Udina, hi Marcel, who is in Munich, Germany, he's editing one of my weekly programs for Krone TV, which is Rudi Backstage, the German version. And and then he's also now editing my new documentary, which is called a cinematographic essay, Rudi Dolezal, I Am Positive. Again, Rudi Dolezal, I Am Positive. Don't be worried. It's not that I am having the virus. It is that it's a new documentary, and I'm interviewing a lot of interesting people. The more we talk about, not today, you will get more and more it's going to be a very unusual film. And this week, amongst many others, I was interviewing the fantastic MAITE Kelly. And let me speak a little bit German. Also für alle deutschen Fans, weil die MAITE ist ja doch ein Star der deutschen Schlagerszene eigentlich. Ich habe ein wunderbares Interview mit MAITE gemacht. Wir kennen einander schon lang, weil ich auch das Privileg hatte, viele Videos für die Kelly Family machen zu dürfen. I had the privilege to do a lot of videos for the Kelly family, and of course MAITE was part of the Kelly family. Das war zum Beispiel so, dass ich damals ganz am Anfang, at the very beginning, I had to always go to Cologne. Da musste ich immer nach Köln reisen, weil der Vater noch gelebt hat und auf einem Hausboot dort uns empfangen hat, wo wir die Konzepte präsentiert haben. Der Vater war ein sehr interessanter, strenger Mann, der sozusagen das Ganze eben der Mastermind der Kelly Family und die ja als Straßenmusiker begonnen haben. I mean, they started as street musicians and Maite said she's a rainbow child, meaning that, you know, she's very tolerant to all those topics as, you know, marriage equality, etc., etc., you have it. Und ich habe mich sehr, sehr gefreut, sie wiederzusehen. I was very happy to see her again. A few things I posted already, there will come more. And she will be one of the stars. Sie wird eine der Stars sein von Ich bin positiv, ein filmisches Essay. So this is going to be really interesting. And I can tell you more pretty soon that what this cinematographic essay is going to be, but be aware that this is super, super, super different to everything you've seen. It's maybe one of the most outstanding doc films that I ever done, because it's a little bit to compare when Freddie passed. I did a documentary on HIV, on AIDS, and it was called We Have AIDS, and there was a lot of famous people, and they all didn't have AIDS. Most of them didn't have AIDS. It was meaning we have AIDS as a problem as the society, and in a way, this is the same idea, you know, that I'm saying I am positive, and putting my name on front, which means, you know, I'm not positive on Corona, thank God. But first of all, I'm positive as if I would have it, because that's how I live, to be protective to others who maybe are not vaccinated already. And on the other hand, I'm positive because I am believing that we can learn something from the pandemic. And that's going to be a super interesting. There's also a lot of quotes from famous philosophers and great music, Christian Kolonovitz, David Bronner, etc., etc. Also international people. It's gonna be a lot of interesting stuff. So I hope you are getting good through the week, and I hope you are now will have a great Monday. And I said to you that I'm trying to always parallel also talk about the band that I'm talking on Krone TV. As you know, Krone TV and Krone.at. On Sunday there is the German version. There's die deutsche Version von RUDI Backstage. 8:15, also 20:15 Uhr. Und dann wird es immer noch spät am Abend wiederholt. Und in der nächsten Woche wird es dann am Sonntag um 11 Uhr Vormittag wiederholt. Das ist die Musiksendung. It's the music program that I do. And the band that I'm talking this week in Krone TV, RUDI Backstage, the German version, is die Fantastischen Vier, the Fantastic Four, which is one of the biggest superstar German hip-hop bands there is. They are really, really big stars. They're very, very good friends of mine, and we've done a lot of early videos and many different projects and collaborations. And in the Krone TV, other than here on YouTube, I can also show my videos and other videos that I like of the band and live concerts. So, you know, you can always do the double pack. You can do RUDI Backstage, hear the English version, and then catch one of the German versions on Krone TV. Then you have the idea what I'm talking about, and you see the music videos. So the great story of this week's Krone TV RUDI Backstage, which, as I said, is also streamed on Krone.at, which has up to 30 million hits per day, which is a really big and massive communication platform where my program is on, for the German-speaking market, of course, the German version, is that there was a historic video that I had the privilege to do with my partner at the time. It was called Zu geil für diese Welt, which if you really translate it, but it doesn't really translate, means too horny for this world, you know, the Fantastic Four. But horny is not the right, it has a double meaning in German. Yes, it means horny, but it also means cool, you know. So you could also say too cool for this world, yeah, or a mixture of both, whatever. Um, and we were filming this. This was a historic video because it became then the very first video ever that was shown on the music channel Viva, which I was founder amongst with others. You know, the German alternative to MTV at the time, which was massive. MTV as a music program, it's not anymore for many years, but at the time you were on MTV, and then you had a hit. And I was doing this channel, and we were doing this video, and this was the very first video ever played. So when the channel started, we pressed on the button, and played was Zu geil für diese Welt, die Fantastischen Vier. We were filming this video in Vienna at the time. You know, many artists, also international artists, as Queen, Roger Taylor for solo videos, The Cross, etc. They came to Vienna because I was here, you know, and I had my production company, and we were doing a lot of things out of Vienna. Yes, we also had then step by step also an office and company in Cologne, in Munich, in London, in Los Angeles, but that came slowly and or too fast on the other hand. But anyway, at the time we were doing this in Vienna, and especially for a German big act, it was very, very clear that it's in the German-speaking market. And as you know, this is the story now. As you know, in the film business, in the music business, in the television business, the most important thing, I don't have one here now, is the gaffer tape. It's the duct tape, you say in America, where you just, you know, fix everything, you know. If it's a stage, if it's a theater, if it's in television, if it's for videos, it's always the duct tape, the gaffer tape that is saving you. And I was doing a documentary on the Fantastischen Vier, on the Fantastic Four, and I was interviewing them again. And when I interviewed one of them, Thomas Day, who lives near Munich, near Cologne now, he said, what? And I said, do you remember when we did this video? He said, oh yeah, but do you remember what happened? And I said, oh yeah, we filmed it and it was very crazy. She said, no, but you remember the accident? And I said, what do you mean accident? He said, well, don't you remember? I said, no. I said, well, you know, we almost died. I said, what? You almost died? Yeah. Long story short, those who were not filming, because there's 4 of them, and not all of them were all the time, were sitting in a separate room where there was a big lamp on the ceiling. But it was very, very too much down. So they were putting it up with the gaffer tape. And he said he was sitting there together with Michi, für die Deutschen, für meine deutschen Follower, die waren natürlich auch bei The Voice of Germany, der Michi und Smudo, aber die Geschichte hat mir jetzt der Thomas Day erzählt. Michi and Smudo, 2 of the Fantastic Four, were parts of the German version of The Voice, were Euros. So he said, I was sitting there, and suddenly one of the band members, Michi, was shouting, "Get up! Get up." Sorry that is so loud. And he said, usually I would say why, but he said it so loud that he jumped and get up. And then, boom, the big lamp came down where they were sitting. So in other words, if Michi, his band colleague, was looking up, and because of the heat and the warm, you know, the lamps, this big lamp which was fixed, which was not really great, but it was fixed and was holding up with gaffer tape, came down. Now, honestly, sounds funny, but it's not funny. And I said, oh my God, I've completely forgot. And you know, I was always told when you have something really horrible that happens in your life, you know, sometimes you split it up in your brain and you forget about it, you know, probably in order to get on with your life. I remember another story and that is what I was thinking when I now interviewed him. That I said, well, probably it was so horrible for me that in order to get to terms with it, I just was completely forgetting it. I didn't remember because I do remember that there is a second thing that I was completely forgetting, and the cameraman reminded me. Somebody reminded me when I was going to the first Grammy, procedure. It was New York City, and I was nominated for the documentary Miles Davis and Quincy Jones at Montreux. Was going there with a taxi, and there was also other people in the taxi. And I was, you know, there's the side which goes out to the curve, to the pavement, and then there's the side which is where you open and it's a street. And I do remember it was at a very famous big museum. I mean, I think it was the evening before, because with the Grammys, it's the evening before. Yeah, that's what it was. You go there, and all the nominated. There's always 5 nominations for each category. This was the best music film, long form video. You also said at the time. Everybody who's nominated for Grammy gets a medal, you know, a Grammy medal. And then only one of them, you know, gets the real Grammy. So this person tells me that when we were there, I was probably so much, I don't know, hyper or maybe nervous. Yeah, if you're nominated the first time in your life for a Grammy, it's the Oscars of the pop music, you're nervous, yeah? So when we arrived, somebody else was paying the taxi. I opened the door, which was going out to the street, and then it made PAH! You know what happened? I almost died. A big truck came and was taking this door from the taxi, and it was flying through the air. So if I not only would have opened it, but would have opened it and started to get out, this truck, I didn't look back. It was my mistake. It was my fault. I didn't look back if it's okay. And that was a very busy street with 4 or 5 lines. And I wanted to get out because I wanted to get in, and the Grammy medal, bam! So be careful, darlings. Don't do this at home. There's a program here in Germany, also in Japan, where they do very crazy things. By the way, I decided to give this YouTube studio, or whatever you call it, which is actually quite big. You just see a little part of it. A name. It's called the UMRBS Kitchen. Again, it's the UMRBS Kitchen. And that's taken from my dear friend who is up in heaven and mentor, I would say, Mr. Frank Zappa. And it is called Utility Muffin Research. That was from Zappa. And now BS means, of course, backstage. So it's the Utility Muffin Research Backstage Kitchen, which is my studio. So, and then I also said a little bit of RUDI himself. This is a great book that I wrote, not now, but years ago, I don't know, 7, 8 years ago. It's in German, and it's called Rudi Dollezeit, die Geschichte des Austropop in 20 Songs. What I did is I was taking out 20 songs, and the artists also I was asked them to write the lyrics of their song in their handwriting. But something which is really funny in the middle, I might have shown this before, is that there is a great collection of photographs. This is, of course, a cartoon, of a very famous cartoon. And some of those pictures you know from my postings. This is famous bathtub stuff. Here we have interviews. That's some diving experiences. Here is again a cartoon. Then there's a puppet that was done by somebody. That's the famous Falco photograph. So that's, here we go, Bob Geldof. But it's obviously mainly Austrian artists. And so that's still available, I think. So für die deutschen Follower, es ist ein sehr, sehr gutes Buch, erschienen im Verlag, also es ist in Kooperation mit Servus TV, erschienen in einem Red Bull Verlag, den ich jetzt nicht weiß. And then, because I said to you, this is sort of my vault, I found this. I was on the cover of, at the time, the most popular weekly magazine called News, together with my then girlfriend. And I mean, she wanted to do this. Sometimes I'm so tempted to say yes to things that maybe I should have done. So, darlings, there was quite a lot of things in there, I think. Of course, you know my 3 wishes, right? By now. Please pre-order my book, My Friend Freddy, at www.myfriendfreddy.com. For only $10, you get an autographed version, and for $15, you get an autographed end with a special dedication. Please go to my YouTube channel if you are watching this on YouTube and subscribe it. It's free of charge and you're part of a community. And then, of course, never, 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 never miss a Sunday RUDI Backstage. Promise me that. One of the 2 you have to watch. Either the German version, entweder die deutsche Version auf Krone TV und Krone.at, or the English version. Here, there is no Sunday without RUDI Backstage. Please, it's so good for you. It's Father's Day here in Austria. So happy Father's Day to everybody who is a father. I, of course, will spend most of my days, most of this day, you know with whom? With my beloved sons, Benny and Ruby. Again, Ruby is so kind in helping me on the technical side of this, and Benny is so kind and is uploading this to all the platforms that I'm doing on social media. Thank you. Stay safe still, it's not over. Stay human, of course. And please, love and respect. I love you all. Thank you for watching this and being part of it.